Hi everyone, CeeChronicles here. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a first timer here, my content comprises of a mixed bag of fragrance reviews, fashion videos, lifestyle videos, sometimes vlogs. So yeah, if that sounds like something you're interested in, please do consider subscribing by clicking the red subscribe button and joining this family. I'd appreciate you coming along and staying. I also want to acknowledge my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for always coming back and supporting this channel. I appreciate you as always. I am here with a fragrance review video. As I said in the other video I did, I think the one before this one, I did say I picked up a few Paris Corners and I'm going to bring them to you. I have this one. It's a Pendora Scents Paris Corner fragrance, and this one is called, there's no name on the actual cover, okay? That is because the fragrance itself sits inside this cover, okay? So this one is called Double Black, okay? This is not going to be new in the YouTube community, because what happens was I did look around just to see, you know, if this, I wanted to know how long this fragrance has been in circulation, because I couldn't find that information on the Paris Corner website, and I did notice that a couple of reviewers have done this fragrance, but it's the first time in my collection, so I'm bringing it here to you. This one is Paris Corner Pendora Scents, the edition of the Pendora Scents, and this one is called Double Black. Okay, so this is the packaging, this is the cover. On the cover there's no name, but on the pack, on this other inner box, there is a name. Okay, so I have taken this on a test run, and I think I can say a couple of things about it to you here. So okay, this is what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to take it out of the box. I put it back actually just so that you can see the actual packaging, but this, you know, let me take it out. I love the bottle. The one thing I love about this is the bottle. The bottle, guys, is so, to me, it's so simplistic, classy, elegant. I just love the bottle. Okay, I really love the bottle. It kind of like it's kind of like the Chanel bottles, very simple but really classy. Okay, really elegant. So this is what we're talking about today. Double Black. Okay, Double Black by Pendora Scents, and it's off the company Paris Corner. I'm going to spray it on this arm because I already have something on this arm, and then I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are. Okay, that's the sprayer. Okay, it's a generous sprayer. Okay, I'm just but to make sure that it sits. Okay, so apparently it looks like Paris Corner has got a lot of creations these days, and I'm very happy with what I'm picking up. So, you know, it's very nice. I like it when you come across, you know, that feel when you come across a fragrance that you really like. This is kind of like what's going on. Okay, so this one has a lot of notes. Now, I'm not going to talk about the notes as in one by one because there's a lot of them, but I'm going to tell you what is prominent on. Okay, this is going to be your honey, tobacco, cherry, raspberry, tonka kind of mix. And the thing about this is nothing really screams out. Like, say for instance, in the top, in the mid, and the base is kind of like a mixture of everything presenting almost at the same time. Okay, but like I said, the prominent notes are going to be that tobacco and the cherry and the honey and the raspberry, some tobacco, bitter almonds, and a bit of some green spicy nuances to it. Okay, so this is definitely on your niche kind of vibe. This is a niche fragrance, straight up. I have to say this. Okay, and by niche I mean the arts, the artistic way of the way fragrances are done, but not in a normal traditional way. This is not going to give you your designer fragrance vibe or the fragrances that you've come across a gazillion times. It's quite different. So for you to appreciate this, you may have, you know, you might appreciate this more if your nose has adapted to those kind of really strange, weird fragrances, because that's what I get. It's the sort of fragrance that if you spray it for the first time and you're not too much into fragrances, you might think, what on earth is that? Okay, but one thing I can say about it, it's very intoxicating. I find it elegant, I find it sexy, I find it almost dark. Okay, and it does fall within the realm of the vintage fragrances. It takes me back 50, 60, 8 years. I wasn't even in that era, but this is what it kind of reminds me of a very dated kind of era. Okay, like a very long time ago. That's what I get from this. Okay, and because it's a very complicated fragrance to describe, I think it's best to describe it in like like in a story time kind of way, like in a story form. Okay, because it's, in as much as it's got that tobacco and it's very prominent, there's something here that feels a bit sour, something here feels a bit boozy as well, but it doesn't have like a rum note to it, but something here feels a bit boozy. The tonka in here is also sweet, okay? So though I find that this, some people feel it leans masculine, to me this is perfectly unisex, okay? This is perfectly unisex, to an extent leaning feminine, but perfectly unisex, okay? It's genderless, if I may say. It's got a really slight, it's quite complex. It does have that strange odor profile, okay? But it remains sexy, okay? If your nose has adapted to the niche, to the artistic way of the niche way, the way the niche fragrances are made, okay? This fragrance is even confusing me. I'm finding myself saying one thing and the other and repeating myself. Now let me give you a scenario of, or an imaginary shortcut to this. This fragrance feels like, but in a good way. I know some of you are gonna laugh. So it feels like you went into, into like, or maybe you found a treasure chest, or it's a like a chest of drawers, okay? But it's very old. That's what it feels like a very old chest of drawers where you literally have to take off the dust first, okay? But the stuff that's in that drawer is not new, but it's not spoiled or anything, okay? But the stuff in that drawer has probably sat in there for 50 years or something like that. I know I'm sounding so ridiculous right now, but it's the only way I can get to describe this fragrance for you, so that you have an imagination of it. So it's a work of art. For you to appreciate it, you need to have been accustomed to a lot of fragrances, especially the niche ones, the way they're made. Like, some of these fragrances that smell like burnt tires. And if you're not used to that, and people think, and you smell that kind of fragrance for the first time, you're like, what the hell is going on here? Something smells off. You get my point. That's what I'm trying to say. This is what this fragrance kind of smells like. It smells like that experience where you're dusting that old, very old, like a chest of drawers, and then you open it and there's nicely packed clothing in there, but the clothes are very old and they have not faded, but they have been like exposed, not exposed, but how mildew will get to stuff in drawers, that how stuff gets damp over time. Not damp, but how some of these things, it's like dust. You don't even know how dust gets into your home, no matter how sealed it is, okay? Dust will always find its way. So with these clothes, there's that mildew that has been depositing on those clothes for a while, a bit of some humidity going on in there, and then those clothes were worn by somebody who used to wear like perfume and lotions and powders, but from a long time ago, and you just sniff those clothes and you kind of get, this is what just this fragrance reminds me of. It reminds me of, that it takes me to that musty smell in clothing, okay? That musty smell in clothing or in old drawers, but in a good way, because it is perfume, okay? So it is super creative. How they did this, I don't know. But obviously, as we know, Paris Corner or Pendora Paris Corner scents, they do inspirations. I know they have a few of their own. So this is an inspiration, okay? This is inspired by Kilian's Back to Black. That is the inspiration. So obviously the artistic nature of it was maybe derived from there. But I'm talking about this one in particular in its own capacity, because I don't have the Back to Black by Kilian to compare. I've only ever had that in a 3 ml little vial of oil, because I do have a lot of oils, or a lot of fragrance oils in my collection. So I did take that oil and sniffed it. That was closest to this, but it's not the actual creation like the Kilian's Back to Black. But if you wanted to try that, or if you just just getting excited by what I'm saying, then you can try this. It is one fragrance that I find super sexy. After you get used to it, it's super sexy. It's ideal for a date night. It's something that you want to wear. I wouldn't say just in cold weather. To me, this does it for me. Even in the heat, it does it for me. And this is one that has that longevity, okay? On the skin, it's beautiful. You will keep smelling yourself because it's just there. The only con to this, like I said, is it's not going to be your traditional fragrance. If you're not too much into the art of fragrance and you prefer the mainstream fragrances, you're probably not going to get this. You're not going to like it, because I gave you the most weird example, or out there, to say an old drawer with all these old clothes, but they're not these clothes are not torn and ripped and chewed up, no, but they're still intact, but they're so old, and you take them and you put them to your nose there. And because the owner of these clothes used to wear like perfume or whatever it was at that time, and these clothes were preserved so well, but mildew somehow got to them, you know, that's dampness, the humidity, but they're not damp, okay, but they feel like they've just been packed away for a long time. That is what I get. So in a nutshell, that is what to expect from this fragrance, guys. It's a gorgeous creation. A little bit of greenness there, some tobacco there, loads of honey there, a very sweet tonka, and I find this is super sexy. Okay, CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this one interesting. I didn't even know what word to put in front of what, but I hope I did give you a mental shortcut to what I feel this fragrance smells like, or at least to my nose. Do subscribe if you haven't already, and do turn on post notifications. That way you will be notified anytime I upload a video. Remember to stay safe, stay blessed, and smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.